Hello, welcome to the Bible in 5 years. My name is Armando. We are reading the Bible in chronological order, and it's going to take us a while to do all this reading. But we're trying to keep our stories short and sweet as much as possible so we can remember what we read. And this project podcast is aimed for people who have never read the Bible. They don't know what the Bible says, or they are not familiar with the Bible, and that's okay. We're not going to judge you here or criticize you, not at all, because this project podcast is for you. If you happen to be a Christian and you stumble upon this project podcast, stick around because at the end of the reading, I will ask for your help. And it has nothing to do with money, it has to do with the algorithm. Let's make the algorithm work for us, shall we? All right, I'm gonna change the music so we can do a reading of today. Day 395 already, almost 400 days. Wow. The fall of Jericho. That's right, Jericho, the city of the palms, Palm City. I think they call it like that somewhere later on in a different book. Okay, the fall of Jericho in the book is Joshua chapter 6 from verse 1 on. Now the gates of Jericho were tightly shut because the people were afraid of the Israelites. No one was allowed to go in or out. But the Lord said to Joshua, I have given you Jericho, its king, and all its mighty warriors. Your entire army is to march around the city once a day for 6 days. 7 priests will walk ahead of the ark, each carrying a ram's horn. On the 7th day, you are to march around the city 7 times, with the priest blowing the horns. When you hear the priest give one long blast on the horns, have all the people give a mighty shout. Then the walls of the city will collapse, and the people can charge straight into the city. So Joshua called together the priests and said, take up the ark of the covenant and assign 7 priests to walk in front of it, each carrying a ram's horn. Then he gave orders to the people, march around the city, and the armed men will lead the way in front of the ark of the Lord. After Joshua spoke to the people, the 7 priests with the ram's horns started marching in the presence of the Lord, blowing the horns as they marched. And the priests carrying the ark of the Lord's covenant followed behind them. Armed guards marched both in front of the priest and behind the ark, with the priest continually blowing the horns. Do not shout, do not even talk, Joshua commanded. Not a single word from any of you until I tell you to shout. Then shout. So the ark of the Lord was carried around the city once that day, and then everyone returned to spend the night in the camp. Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priest again carried the ark of the Lord. The 7 priests with the ram's horns marched in front of the ark of the Lord, blowing their horns. Armed guards marched both in front of the priest with the horns and behind the ark of the Lord. All this time the priests were sounding their horns. On the second day, they marched around the city once and returned to the camp. They followed this pattern for 6 days. On the 7th day, the Israelites got up at dawn and marched around the city as they had done before. But this time they went around the city 7 times. The 7th time around, as the priests sounded the long blast of their horns, Joshua commanded the people, shout, for the Lord has given you the city. The city and everything in it must be completely destroyed as an offering to the Lord. Only Rahab the prostitute and the others in her house will be spared, for she protected our spies. Do not take any of the things set apart for destruction, or you yourselves will be completely destroyed, and you will bring trouble on all Israel. Everything made for Everything made from silver, gold, bronze, or iron is sacred to the Lord and must be brought into his treasury. When the people heard the sound of the horns, they shouted as loud as they could. Suddenly, the walls of Jericho collapsed, and the Israelites charged straight into the city from every side and captured it. They completely destroyed everything in it, men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep, donkeys, everything. Then Joshua said to the two spies, "Keep your promise. Go to the prostitute's house and bring her out, along with all her family." The young men went in and brought out Rahab, her father, mother, brothers, and all the other relatives who were with her. They moved her whole family to a safe place near the camp of Israel. Then the Israelites burned the city and everything in it. Only the things made of from silver, gold, bronze, or iron were kept for the treasury of the Lord's house. So Joshua spared Rahab the prostitute and her relatives who were with her in the house, because she had hidden the spies Joshua sent to Jericho, and she lives among the Israelites to this day. At that time Joshua invoked this curse: "May the curse of the Lord fall on anyone who tries to rebuild the city of Jericho. At the cost of his firstborn son, he will lay its foundation. At the cost of his youngest son, he will set up its gates." So the Lord was with Joshua, and his name became famous throughout the land. Whoa, what a deal! Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we are reading the Bible in chronological order, and it's going to take us a few years. We already been reading the Bible for a year, and we almost have read 400 stories. Today is day 395, so we've been reading a lot. We try to keep our stories short and sweet because we read verses here. We don't read chapters. We read from 3 verses up to 30 verses, and sometimes it feels too long, but we try to keep it short. And our stories are about 10 minutes or less. My explanation sometimes is longer than that, but there is no video or audio that is longer than 15 minutes. Not at all. So we're good then. This project podcast is for people, or is aimed for people who have never read the Bible, they don't know what the Bible says, or they are not familiar or familiarized with the Bible. And it's okay. We're not going to judge you here or criticize you. Not at all, because this project podcast is for you. Maybe you're curious about what the Bible says. Maybe you have heard stories about the Bible or contradictions or whatever. You know, come in and find out for yourself, and make your own opinion about it, and that's the only way to find out. And, you know, it's better than sometimes hearing the so called experts. Uh, Maybe they haven't even read the Bible and they're giving an opinion, but whatever. So feel free to roam around, check the description below or above, depends where you're watching this episode. And we have links there for Spotify, for Facebook, and for YouTube. And in Spotify, we have audios and videos. In Facebook, we have only videos. And in YouTube, it's only videos also. Facebook, they're deleting their videos every 30 days. That's part of their policy. Been already like that for a few months. And but we have in YouTube and in Spotify, we have a historical record there from day one all the way up to this day. If you wanna check early episodes and know what the deal is about this, and you don't have to listen to the whole explanation that I gave. Just listen to the stories. Like if you start listening to the Bible in 5 years from the beginning, just listen to the few stories. The first couple of three stories, my wife read them. Of course, her native language is English, so they sound the way they should sound. Not like me with this heavy accent and making a lot of mistakes. But I'm trying the best I can do. I'm trying my best. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, but hey, if you happen to be a Christian and you stumble upon this project podcast, stick around. I need your help, and it has to do with the algorithm. It has not to do with money, and I'm trying to make the algorithm work for our benefit. So if you check the description below or above, and go to every one of those links there, uh, and let's say you go to the Bible in 5 years in YouTube, and you enter and click on the like and subscribe, and click on the reminder, and also click and send a small comment, and click and send it. And you do that in every one of the different platforms. This will help us because it will wake up the algorithm. It will activate the algorithm to our favor, to our benefit, because the algorithm will notice this activity, and it will promote this type of content, and it will bring it to people that they're not even looking for this type of content, and that will be great, very helpful for us. So if you want for more people to listen to the Bible in form of a story, well, help us that way. That will be wonderful. Let us know if you want to send, if we can send you a greeting or hi, hello, or something. Send us your name or where you reside, like your country or city or region or continent, and we will do so. I have a yeah over here a QR code, and that's for YouTube. If you wanna watch these episodes in YouTube, there's the QR code over there. I mean, all right, I gotta go because I'm already about 12 minutes. See you tomorrow.